to do wattle, comb, and underbelly. Okay, we're in the home stretch now. We have we've made the entire body of the chicken. So now we need to make the wattle, the comb, put the eyes in, make the underbelly, and sew it together. In other words, bring it to life, right? So I have brought Chicky Minaj. This is what I was working on before. So in between,
Chicky Minaj.
This is Chicky Minaj.
This is Cardi Beak.
Cardi Beak's gone a little rough.
Cardi Beak has a waist necklace on. She
and something.
And some.
She's something else.
That's Cardi Beak. Cardi Beak is something else.
She's something else. Okay. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, so we're doing the wattle, which is the doohickey dealy under the beak. That goes waddle, waddle, waddle. So first thing we do is chain 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And what we're going to do on this chain is we're going to work one side and then we're going to work down the other side of the chain. So we're going to single crochet in the second one from the hook and in the next 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to do half double crochets in the next 5. So 1, yarn over first. If you don't know how to do a half double, this is how you do it. Yarn over first into the chain and then yarn over through all 3. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then a half double in the last chain. Okay, and now what you're going to do is turn your work to the other side, so you're working into the opposite side of the chain, and you're going to do 5 half doubles in the other side of the chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then single crochet 3 times. So 1. So you're doing the exact opposite of what you did on the other side. 2, and then 3. And then you're going to slip stitch in the last chain, and you're going to fasten it off. Do you have scissors? I will use my brute strength. Wow. And then you just fasten it off. So there's your wattle. Seems very long, but what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half, and then it will go right below the beak like that. Comes up like that. Okay, so that's your wattle. Let's do the comb. Okay, so I'm starting on the comb already. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So the comb is the one on the top of the head. So we're going to chain 17 and double crochet into the 4th one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Double crochet into that. Okay. And then that counts as your first double crochet. Then you're going to do double crochet, triple, and 2 more doubles in the same one. So that's 1. This will be 2 doubles, and then the triple. We wrap twice, and this is all into the same chain. That's going to give you your first little bump there. or curve around or shell, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so that's the triple and then 2 more doubles. 1 and then 2. Okay. And then you're going to skip 1 and then do you skip 1 chain and then you do a single crochet into the next one. Okay, so there's your first little bump of the comb there. And then we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and we're going to do that same 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 doubles in that one. So we skipped 1, skipped 2, 1, 2, and then a triple. You wrap twice, all into the same one. Yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, and then 2 more doubles. So yarn over into the chain, yarn over, come through, then yarn over through 2, and yarn over through 2. Here's our last double. Okay, then we're going to skip 1. So that one. We're going to single crochet into this one, into the next one, and then skip 2, and then your same 2 doubles, 1 triple, and 2 doubles into here. You can see it's coming into shape.
Looks like a comb.
It does look like a comb. Well, a chicken comb, not a regular comb. And then I wonder why they call it a comb. It doesn't comb anything.
I was just thinking that. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
For all you people out there.
Why is it called a comb? I thought it was a crown. Oops, I did a triple instead of a double. That's what happens when I start talking. Start screwing up. Okay, there's 1. Here's my last double. Okay, and then I'm going to skip 1 stitch and then single crochet in the last chain. I'm going to skip 1 chain and then single crochet into the last one. Is that right? Nope, I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. Repeat once, skip 1, and then single into the last one. And then slip stitch. You don't have to do the slip stitch if you don't want, but it's a nice way to end it off. Okay, there we go. There's the comb. And that comb is going to sit right here. When you sew it on, it's going to hit right at the top of the beak there. So let's go ahead and sew things on. Okay, so now we're going to sew I was going to call it a crown, the comb onto the top of the chicken. So what you want to do is flatten it out because you want to find dead center, right? And you're going to lay this out like that. This one, the tail is going to go right through here. Like that. Okay, so you can pin it if you want, or you can just eyeball it. But we're going to come back up. Not through the same hole, but right next to it. And we're going to grab a little bit, so you can do the chain if you want, right here. And then a little bit of the chicken. So one strand, and one strand, like that.
Annette.
Yes?
The chicken's comb is called a comb because it resembles a comb.
That's a lie.
Okay.
That looks nothing like a comb. Anyway, it's okay.
That's the why.
I will just have to live with that.
Yes, that's what they said.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew it down one side and then sew down the other side. So I make sure that it's secured and it's not falling one way or another. I just want to keep checking to make sure that I am centered down the head, because nobody wants a crooked comb, do they? That's looking pretty good. Or do they?
It would be great for all you people out in the internet world to let us know what you think about why is it called a comb.
Well, you just answered me.
I know,
said
but you didn't
because it
believe it.
resembles a comb. I do believe it, but the lie part of it is that it does not resemble a comb. Maybe like some, I don't know, what do you comb your hair with? It sure doesn't look like that.
Afro pick.
Yeah, Afro pick. That's what I use too. So maybe that's why I'm so
Anti-comb.
anti-comb, because this looks nothing like the comb that I use on my head, or that I think you use on your head.
I don't.
Okay, this is looking good. So I'm just grabbing one strand of each. There are ways to do it where you can hide it a little bit better, but I think this looks fine. Looks kind of like a mohawk, which is why I like it too. You could have, those of you who want your badass chickens can go crazy on your mohawk part of it. Maybe do something a little spiky. Oh, I got stuck. There we go. That guy out. Okay, I'm about to the end, so I'm going to come around the other side. There's my last one. Okay, now I'm going to turn. Oh, he's looking good. This, for you that don't know, this is I'm Just Hen. And he's going to have a bright pink comb and wattle, because he's enough. Or yeah, he's enough. Okay.
I used to have pink hair.
I used to have pink hair too. That must have been fun.
Was.
Did you have to bleach it?
Yes.
Okay. So I went down this side. I'm gonna go down this side doing the same thing. Go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you how to fasten it off. Okay, so I've sewn on one side and down the other side, and now this is the great thing about this project is you can just go back down into the middle like that with one, and then I'm going to take the other one and do the same thing. The other oops, dropsy over here, down through, and then I just tie a knot on the inside because we don't have to weave in our ends. So I'm going to turn it inside out and then just tie these two together and trim it a little bit. There. If I had scissors, I would trim that. Oh, I have scissors. I'm going to trim that.
Ask and you shall receive.
Okay. So now we're going to put in the eyeballs, and this is where it really comes to life.
That's the fun part.
It is. So the first thing to do is, again, flatten. And people make the mistake of thinking that chicken eyes are in the front. If you put your chicken eyes like really close to the front, and maybe that's what you want, it's going to look like a damn crazy bird right there. So what you want to do is count over like 3 rows down and 3 rows in, because chicken eyes are actually on the side of their heads.
So they can see everything.
Right, they are.
I'm going to miss those little grains.
So I'm gonna put this here just to test it. So these eyes, the thing is, once you put the eyes in and you put the backs on, you can't take them out. So make sure that where they are is where they're gonna stay. So I'm looking from up above. It looks a little crooked. I'm going to move this one back just a touch. A tudge. That's a touch and a tug, I guess. A tudge.
Tudge.
A tudge. A smidge. That looks a little better. What do you think, Brenda? Maybe this one goes down a little bit?
No, I think they look pretty good.
So I've got 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 across there.
Yeah.
That's looking pretty good. I'm not sure. What do you think? Yeah,
I
maybe
think...
one of them. See, that's the thing, that the rows aren't perfectly symmetrical. So, yeah. Oh, that looks better. Yeah. And look at it from all angles. That looks good. So now I'm going to put the backs on. And these go either way, but I feel secure, more secure if they're like that. And you want to hear a couple of pops.
So is it down or up?
You can do either.
Okay.
I tend to put them this way. I think that way they don't have so many places to move. You know, they don't have a lot to go. Okay. And you want to make sure they're secure, but not falling in.
I was hoping
Not falling into or being pushed into the fabric. Okay, so there's your eyes. Next step, we're going to sew the beak and put the wattle on.
Put the wattle on.
Put the wattle on. Okay, so what I've done with my tail is I've kind of gone back through here and just run the tail through here to close up any gaps in the beak. So now I can sew it together. So most of the chicken gets single crocheted together, but from here all the way down to the edge of the first stripe, that actually gets sewn. So I'm just gonna do kind of a mattress stitch. So from the right side of the work, grab one side and then some more from the other side. And then I just keep going down either side. So grab a little bit from this. And make sure that the end is even. So yellow matches up with yellow. There we go. You can also, if you don't like the thickness of the beak, you could always double the yarn. I kind of like the little beak because real chickens have, their beaks aren't huge. All right, so one more. And then down the other side. And now I'm going to pick up a different color because I'm going to be sewing down the body. So I don't want to use yellow in case it shows a little bit. First thing, I'm going to fasten off the beak. So just do a little knot like you're sewing at the end. I'm going to do it again on the other side. Okay, tie my ends together just to secure it one more time. Okay, cut it, and we're done with that. So now I have this piece over here that I left from when I was doing the head. So it's always good to leave a little bit of, tail there, so you'll have it if you need to sew. So I'm going to use this one. I'm going to make my way back up because this is a little further down, so I'm just going to come back up here right at the edge of the beak. And again, I want to line up all of my stripes, put all of the strands to the center, and then just start weaving down, doing mattress stitch again from the outside, the right side of your work. I know some people sew from the other side, but I've done a lot of sewing in crochet, and I think it looks best from the outside. And the reason we're sewing it and not single crocheting it together is because the wattle goes there, and we're sewing to the point where the underbelly will start. So go ahead and sew down until the end of your first stripe. And then we will sew in the wattle and get started on the underbelly. Okay, so I've sewn the beak and down to the end of the first stripe. So that's where the bottoms will go in. But right now, before I start doing the underbelly, I'm going to sew in the wattle. So you fold it in half. You can do whichever way you like. I kind of like it like that. And then it goes right under the beak, just like the comb went right on top of the beak. The wattle's going to go right under. So make sure that it's flat. I'm going to get right at the bottom of the beak and bring it through. And you can sew this on whatever way you'd like. So I'm bringing one through. I'm getting all tangled up in my pieces here. And then I'm going to bring the other one through. So it's folded. You can bring it into the same one or right next to it. That way when you get into the inside, you can just tie the pieces together. So I'm going to tie those both. And then I'm going to bring one of them back up and sew a little bit more of it down so it's not flopping in the breeze there. See? I'm going to bring it back up like this and just sew the back part of it down a little bit. And like I said, you can do whatever you want. I like it a little bit more secure. There you go. And I'll touch that up a little bit, but that's basically what you do to sew the wattle on. So next thing we're going to do is move on to the underbelly. Okay, so we've got the whole head and everything is put together. And the only piece we have left to do is the underbelly. So the underbelly is made of two pieces. And the reason why we do that is because if you ever want to take it out and restuff it, you could even do like where it joins in a different color. So you can open it back up again and restuff it. But one end goes here and the other goes here. So remember this one, everything is going to meet like right in the middle here. And then you'll just crochet it all together. So I already made one piece so you can see what it looks like. And you can see also that I just carried the colors up the side. If you want to cut it each row, you can do that too. I'm lazy, so I didn't want to do that. So let's go ahead and start the other piece. So this one I started with my main color. And this one I'm going to start with the secondary color so that the stripes are different when they meet in the center here. So you start with a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to single crochet in the second one from the hook and in the last one. So I have 2. Next row we're going to double it, so chain 1, You're going to do 2 in the first, 2 in the second. So 1, and you change color on the last step of your second one. So last step of that one, going to bring through the new color. Chain 1, turn. So now I have 4. I'm going to go 4 to 6. So 2 in the first, 1, 2, 1 in each of the next ones. And then 2 in the last. 1 and 2. Okay, chain 1 and turn. So that was 6. We're going to do the same thing on 8. So chain 1, turn, 2 in the first one. 2, and then 1 in the next 6. And then you're going to do 2 in the last one. It wasn't the next 6, it was the next 4. So 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I forgot to change color here. And then the next row is just going to be 1 single crochet in each. And now it's going to change up a little bit after you do that. So 8 across. And then the row after that, we're going to increase again on the ends, so we'll be at 10. Okay, end of the row, we're going to chain 1, 2 in each of the end ones. 1, 2, and then 1 in each across. So after this point, we're going to do 1 row plain and 1 row of increases. So now we're at 10. I'm going to grab my new color. And just carrying it again loosely up the side. I'm not pulling it tight. Okay, so 1 row plain, 10 across here, and then the next row we'll do an increase. Okay. Now these sizes are slightly different with the 2 colors, but it doesn't make a difference. It's just a chicken. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 more, 10, chain 1. Now we're going to do the increase row again. So 2 singles in the first, 1 in each across to the end, and 2 in the last. So we're going from 10 to 12. And you're going to repeat rows 5 and 6 until you're at 22. And here. And 2 in the last. Bring the new one through, pull through lightly. So you can see here what's happening. You are going to do that all the way till you get to 22, and then you do 4 plain rows. So go ahead and do that and fasten off, and then we'll get started on the finishing. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do after sewing it together here is we're going to single crochet together the tail section up to about an inch, inch and a half right here. That's where it's going to stop. So you can put stitch markers there if you want. I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to take my second color here and I want to start it in the last one that I did, so there's no weird gap there. So slip stitch it, and then we're going to do a single crochet in there. Like that. Get through there. Yes. And now we're going to single crochet through both of them all the way around. Watch out for that. That's not the easiest thing in the world to do. You could take like a knitting needle or some kind of other needle and poke through first beforehand to give you kind of a starter hole right there, because this is crocheted pretty snug together. Okay, and you're going to go around. All the way here, 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 and then stop right about there. So I'll meet you back there, and that's where we'll put in the first part of the underbelly. Okay, so now, well, first of all, I single crocheted all these together, and then I stopped right here. So then you're going to go ahead and pin in your body piece, and where you want to end it is like, or where you want it to join is about right in the middle of the first or the second body section. So if you look at it, here is body part 1, here's body part 2. So we want to be right about there, and that's where I've pinned it. So you're going to pin it here, and you're going to do what's called easing in. So you always go end, end, middle, middle, middle. So this one I'm just going to put 3 in. So I just have end, end in the middle, like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So right about here is where I'm going to want to end it. Pin, and then right in the middle. So stuff all your ends in. Oh, that I'm not going to stuff in because that's what I'm using to crochet with. And you can use stitch markers if you want. You can use those little wonder clips, whatever holds it together. Okay, so this is where I stopped. I'm going to move that pin out of the way so I don't poke myself. And I'm going to just start single crocheting it together. That is my hook right here. This is the very end, so that's what I'm going to crochet together first. Right there. And I'm going to start by going down one side here, all the way across and down the other side. This is the last thing we single crochet together, and that's only after we've stuffed the whole thing. So here, I'm going to go to the other side. And stop and look at it too. You know, are you missing a space? You know, the great thing about crochet is you can just undo it and then start again. If I don't like the way it looks. Okay. So go ahead and crochet all the way down here and around. and then we'll work on stuffing it. Okay, here's my bag of stuffing. All right, so now our little flat chicken. This is like Flat Stanley.
It is Flat Stanley.
Yeah, so if you make one for someone and you want to ship it, you should
Do Flat Stanley.
do Flat Stanley, because all people have to do when they get it is stuff it and then single crochet together across the bottom. So this is all ready to be stuffed now. And the trick to the stuffing is to take little pieces like this. Not just like a big giant wad, thank you. And so far-reaching places first, like the tail. People always forget to stuff the tail. Tail, tail, tail. And you don't have to use polyfill. You can use your old yarn scraps. You can use roving. What else, Brenda?
Old t-shirts that
t-shirts.
are not in use anymore that you can cut up and stuff in.
Yeah. You want to overstuff this a little bit because it does flatten after a minute. And like I said, you can single crochet this in a different color and just undo it and restuff it if you want. But the far-reaching places, no matter what, are hard to get to. So you want to make sure you do that first. Oops. You do that first, and then overstuff it a little bit, and then go to the other parts. So you can see. And make sure you shape it however you want it to. I want that a little bit more pointy. So I've got those. Now I'm going to go to the head. If you want to stuff your beak, you can. I tend to put a little bit of stuffing in there, but not too much, because it kind of sits there on its own. And then, oops, that's coming out a little bit. I'll go over that. And then the head. And you want to really make sure that you put a lot of stuffing in the head.
Yeah, otherwise it'll go flat.
Yeah, and nobody wants a flat-headed
Flat-head.
chicken. Also, while you're doing it, you can stuff it, but you want to make sure you're looking at it from all angles, because you don't want one that's too skinny. You want to make sure that the breast section is really filled in well to make it a hot chicken.
And you have to make it huggable.
Yeah, for sure. So that's looking pretty good for the head. I'm going to keep going. What do you think? Does it need more?
Maybe a little more, but you'll, once you start doing the breast.
The breast.
The excess will go up to the head.
Yeah, when we were doing Dolly, we made sure to put extra stuff in the boobs.
Extra.
Dolly part hen. So it's getting there. It does take a minute, you know. Oops, that's way too big.
Yeah, you have to have patience.
Yeah. And another thing to keep in mind is, do you want it to be a little weighted? You can put beans in there, you can put rocks, buttons, whatever gives it weight, because it does, I think they're a little bit more huggable when they have a little bit of weight to them.
Yeah, and they sit up straight.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to keep the bottom a little flat, but, you know, keep, what was I talking about? Weight.
What?
Never mind. You got to cut that out. Anyway, you're going to go ahead and stuff. See, look, this body is stuffed, but when I look at it this way, it's all skinny. So I want to make sure that it comes this way. So you look at it from the top, from the bottom, from side to side, and just keep going. So go ahead and stuff, and I'm going to show you the very last part of single crocheting together and how I stuffed it at the end. So go ahead and put all the stuffing in, and then we'll check your shaping.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm almost finished stuffing. But before I close it up, I want to make sure I look at it this way to make sure my sides are even, that it looks good from the side, looks good from this way. So you just have to keep turning it around upside down, make sure that it's stuffed evenly on either side here. I need just a little bit more right here, and then, yeah, just to even that out a little bit. And when I look at it that way, it's even. So now I'm going to close it up. And to close it up, just going to connect my yarn. Yang, 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 yang. And then just single crochet. You can do it in the same color, you can do it in a different color. You can leave a long strand if you want to take it out later. Whatever you want to do. Just make sure you close your ends inside. You could always put them through later, but so you're going to slip stitch that first one. Pull your ends down and then single crochet across. Okay. Easy way to do it is to just grab the two inside pieces of each side. So you can grab this one, crochet it together with the one on the other side. Go all the way across, and I'll show you the finished chicken. I've decided to go under 2 strands and then 2 strands on the other side because I like it holds a little bit better. So just under here. Okay, all the way across. Okay, so I'm almost there. Couple more stitches. And I'm going to crochet it to the side here just to secure it down. Leave myself a long tail. Where's your scissors, Brenda? There you go. Thank you. Fasten it off, and then you will put, let me put this guy up on the table. So you're going to take your ends, put them on your tapestry needle, and just bring them through. And you can cut there. I'm going to get the scissors. Same with the other one. So it's great when you do this project, you don't have ends to weave in, you just bring them through. Make sure they're secured. So what I did with a lot of my ends was I tied them together in a double knot beforehand. And here you have it. This is I'm Just Hen. Shall we give I'm Just Hen a little clap?
Yay!
Say Finny, he's ready for the beach.
And this baby will be ready soon.
Yeah, okay. Are we ready? Look at the little babies. Here, you want to hold one? Or you got to hold yours. Oh. Here's the coop. I got to look for the wattle. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Is that a chicken?
I think,
okay, we'll do a cutaway.
just tell me what that is, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do the comb and the wattle under here. Wattle.
Calm.
Thank you.
Hi, it's Brenda. It's a commercial break. I just want you to know that this is a wonderful... Oh, jeez. Okay. Hi, Brenda. Okay, so I loved doing my crochet chicken so much that I'm actually doing another one. And also, I just want you to know that our anniversary is coming up next month. All you knit is love, and all you crochet is love too. So come on down for our anniversary.